Hey you guys, and welcome back for another video. So I am sitting down on the floor today because I thought I would film kind of a sit down chatty video for you guys. I'm apologizing already for the shop noise if this is coming through on the video, but I can't really do anything about it. So I sat down and I made a list of things that I have for Zendaya, or that I got for her, or that I've gotten for this baby that I would consider like baby must-haves. And then I also made a list of some things that you probably don't need or that I think you don't need. So obviously this video is going to be purely my opinion. So if you're someone who has and uses something that I don't have or feel like you don't need, that's totally fine. It's just something that I have not needed and just felt like was an extra that we didn't need to spend money on. So if that works for you, that's awesome. But this is just my opinion of things that I have and love and definitely would recommend to like a new parent, or even someone who's having another baby and never had these things first round, or things that I never got and haven't missed. Anyways, I have a rather large list to get through with you guys, so I'm gonna jump into it. Some of the stuff I have here to show you, if I don't have it here to show you, I will try to include either a picture or something like that so you know what I'm talking about. And I will also link everything I can down below, either in my Amazon shop or on a separate link. So make sure you check out the description box if you're looking for any of the things that I'm mentioning in the video. This list definitely is not in any sort of special order. I just sat down and thought about everything that I have for the baby and everything I used for Zendaya and just wrote down, yeah, what I thought was most helpful. I also went on Pinterest and looked at a couple lists that people shared that they thought were baby like must-haves, and if there was anything on there that I felt like was excessive, I put it on the list of things you don't need. I know for some people you don't always have a lot of extra money to spend, so you really just want the bare necessities, or maybe you don't have a lot of extra space for extra things, so you just want to keep the things that you get to a minimum, or make sure that they are functionable, yeah, for multiple uses or whatever. And so anyways, let's get into the list and I will share with you guys some of the things that I have and love and use or have used for Zendaya, or will be using for this baby. So the first thing on my list, and this is something that we did not have when Zendaya was born, and we actually got it, I think she was maybe like 2 months old when I actually got one for her, is a sound machine, and I so highly recommend this. Before I get into talking about it a little bit, I actually followed a lady on Instagram. Her handle is Taking Care of Babies. She is super well known for like baby sleep tips, stuff like that, and one of her tips is to have a sound machine for your little one, and I definitely would agree. I think it helps so much with their sleep. It just, yeah, I think it just makes a world of difference. So this is the one that we have for our home. I actually have two. This one I think is like $12 on Amazon, something like that, and super simple. It has 10 different sounds. You just plug it into the wall. You also can use batteries if you need to, but I always just have it plugged in and running on like a constant white noise sound. It also has a 30, 60, or 120 minute timer, so if you don't want it running constantly, you can do that instead. So this is a huge recommend. But another thing that I would recommend with this, or you could just opt for this one that I'm about to show you instead, is a portable sound machine. This is the Hush sound machine from Amazon. It's kind of like the, I think it's called ROM one, that's highly recommended, but a little bit cheaper. So this is a rechargeable one, so you're not going to be going through multiple batteries, but you can just clip it on your car seat, and when you go somewhere you can just have this playing. If your baby falls asleep, it helps to drown out the noise of the grocery store, or just the transition from the car to the grocery store to back to the car to back home. It just honestly makes a world of difference. Absolutely love this. This is actually a new one because the one that we had for Zendaya, we actually like used so much that it stopped charging. But I just would not go back. I recommend this. I think they're amazing, and I think they help so much. Along with like a portable sound machine, something else I recommend is a car seat cover. I have two different kinds and I've used both of the kinds, I like them both the same, so I honestly can't say that one has more advantages than another one does. This one just attaches at the top to your car seat handle, and then it just kind of drapes down over, and it has like a slit here that you can open up. This one is great for like complete blackout. So if you have a baby that likes a really dark environment and wakes up easily with like changes in light, I would recommend something a little bit more like this that is lined with like a dark material, or yeah, something like that. This works great for helping to keep their environment the same as well when you're like out on the go and they're in their car seat. But another one that I have, and I love this one as well, is this one. This is just a simple stretch over the car seat kind of cover. This one was gifted to me, but I believe it's from Amazon. Great thing I like about this as well is you can also use it as a nursing cover if you need to. And you don't have to have something extra packed in your bag, because yeah, it works great. It's really large and roomy, and definitely is something I would recommend. You obviously don't need both different kinds of car seat covers, but I actually wanted two different kinds just for like, this is lighter weight as well for in the summer. This one is heavier weight and nicer for in the winter time. Another thing we didn't use for Zendaya at first but ended up using later on and definitely helped her was, hold on, let me get it here, was baby swaddles. And not just blankets that you can use to wrap them tight in, but actual swaddles. This is what ours looks like. They're called the Swaddle Me Swaddles, I believe. You can get them in 2 different sizes. Obviously, once the baby starts rolling over, you don't want to swaddle them, but you basically just stick them in, if I can show you guys, with their feet down, and then you just pull their arms down, put this flap over their arms. This has Velcro on, and you just stretch it over and Velcro it shut, and it holds them in there like a little burrito. And it's so nice, especially with their startle reflex that can sometimes jerk them awake. This is really, really nice to help calm that and just keep them nice and warm and snug. And we used these up until she started rolling over, like close to 5 or 6 months. So we use these a lot. I highly recommend them, and I think they help with baby sleep as well. Again, my personal opinion. If you don't use them or if you don't like them, that's totally fine, but this is what we found works really, really well for us. A couple other things that I would definitely recommend for baby must-haves. The first one is a monitor, which if you can afford a camera, I would definitely recommend that. They actually have some on Amazon that are really inexpensive, like under $30. You don't have to spend $80 or $90 or $100 on some for fancy baby camera. You can get ones that are really inexpensive and work great. I have one that hooks to my phone through the internet, and it is so nice to just keep tabs on Zendaya. We also have a monitor in her room that we can just hear her as well, but obviously that doesn't have the visual on it. So it is really nice to have a camera that hooks right up to your phone. I will try to find the one we have on Amazon and link it below so you guys can check it out if you're looking for an inexpensive one. Also, I wanted to add in here that some of these things, you might not be expecting a baby or anything like that. You may be a grandparent or something, but some of these things I would definitely recommend for gift ideas, like the portable sound machine. Great gift idea. I think it's like $25, so it's not super expensive, but it is something that is so nice to have, and maybe something that a mom-to-be wouldn't think of or wouldn't go out and buy herself. So definitely keep that in mind if you need any gift ideas. These things I definitely would recommend for that as well. Another thing that was recommended to me and I would recommend to you is a like no contact thermometer. This is what ours looks like. I will see if I can find it on Amazon for you guys, but you literally just point it at their head and push the button and it will give you a temperature reading. Really nice for little babies. You just, yeah, don't have to deal with trying to take their temperature or waiting for a thermometer to get the reading or anything like that. These are so handy, and they're really inexpensive as well. Another item that I wanted to mention, and I've mentioned this in past videos, so you just have to bear with me, but honestly, these are probably one of my favorite baby finds or recommendations, are Zendaya's sheets and our pack and play sheets in our room and our changing table sheets. They're all by the same company. I think it's called Ellie's & Co. And they have a waterproof liner underneath. It's right on the back of the sheet. so you don't have to put a liner on your crib mattress. So nice for quick changing of like sheets on a crib or in a pack and play or anything like that, because you don't have to be dealing with multiple layers. They last. Zendaya will be 2 in July, and I've had hers. Well, I've had the only ones that we have since she was born and have been using them, and they still are lasting amazing. I probably will soon need to get some new ones just because on some of them the white is not as white as it used to be. But I definitely recommend them, and they have a bunch of different colors and designs and stuff. So if you go to the link that I have for mine and go to the actual Amazon store on Amazon for Ellie's and Company, you can find different patterns and styles. And yeah, I definitely recommend those as a baby necessity. Another thing that I recommend, and this is something small, but obviously you want something like a diaper bag or something like that to keep all your stuff in for your baby, but I also recommend these little like disposable bags, and you can buy them for babies in the baby section, but the cheapest way to get them is to buy them for dogs. And that may sound silly, but you can get them on Amazon. You can get an Amazon brand, or the Amazon, I guess it's called Amazon Basics or something like that. And I think for $15, I have so many rolls of these. Like, I'm literally gonna have these bags for probably all my kiddos. Like, they just don't, the stash I have has not gone down. I mean, I just have so many of them, and they are so nice for on the go, to put like dirty diapers in. And this is kind of what one of the dispensers looks like. It's nothing fancy or anything like that, but it definitely is more inexpensive to buy the dog bags than it is to buy the ones that are marketed for babies. And you can get scented ones as well if that's what you want. These are scented. I think they're lavender. They also work great for when you're on vacation or when you're away from home and you don't have a diaper pail, which is another thing that I would highly recommend. I know people get by without them, which is totally fine, but they're so nice to be able to throw diapers in, not have to worry about the smell, and it just contains them really well. But these are a great go-to if you're away from home, don't have access to a diaper pail, and you want something to keep dirty diapers in that is not going to like stink up your whole motel room or Airbnb or wherever you're staying. To go along with a diaper pail, we bought ours off of Facebook. I think I paid $8 for it or something. It was in great condition. But don't buy your refills from the store, from like Walmart or Target is what I would recommend. You can get some on Amazon. This is an Amazon brand. I'll try to have it linked below as well. You can get 4 of these. I think it's like $13 to $15, and these will last you for months. These are much more inexpensive than buying the actual diaper pail brand. And so I would definitely recommend going with these, ordering them off of Amazon if you can. They'll just save you money because you will go through quite a few of these. At least we do, and we only have 1 child. So definitely would recommend getting your refills off of Amazon as compared to in a store. So I'm gonna go over my list, and there's a couple things that are just kind of like obvious ones, but if you're someone who's watching this and you're trying to make a list as a new mom, I'll go over them so you can write them down on your list and yeah, not forget about them. So another thing that's really handy to have is a bottle brush. That's something really simple to pick up, but so nice for cleaning bottles and making sure to get all the nasty milk stuff off the inside of them. A couple other just small baby essentials are things like fingernail clippers, a brush or like a small baby comb, and diaper rash cream. A couple other things that are super like generic but are really nice to have are obviously your hooded towels for your baby. Those are really handy. Washcloths, fuzzy blankets, but those really large like muslin thin blankets are so nice for summer. They also work great like if you need kind of like a nursing cover sort of thing, because they're so large and lightweight. They don't make you all hot and sweaty, and they work great for just draping over a car seat, anything like that. It's really nice to have a couple of those if you can. Another thing that we got and really loved is a jogging stroller, and this is something else too. You don't have to spend a lot of money on it. It doesn't have to be like a super expensive stroller system with a matching car seat. I actually got our infant car seat off of Facebook Marketplace. It's not expired or anything like that, and I paid $10 for it. It has no stains on it. It literally is in perfect condition, and I bought it for Zendaya. It worked great, but it didn't match in with our jogging stroller, but it still fit or worked to set the car seat in like the front of the stroller, and having a jogging stroller is so nice. Another thing that I had and really liked was a container that was separated for baby formula. I nursed Zendaya for about 3 months, and then she switched to all formula, so we ended up using that quite a bit. And it just is a container that's like partitioned out. You can put a certain amount of formula in each partition, and then you know how much is in there, and you have multiple servings of pre-measured formula for when you're out and about or on the road. And then also to go along with like the eating things, I also love the silicone bibs that have like the scoop in the front of them. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I think they're pretty popular, but they're easy to wash. They catch lots of food and juice and everything when kids are eating, and obviously these are a couple older items, but they are so nice to have. Yeah, just for when your baby gets to that stage, I definitely would recommend those things. So that is my list of recommendations, but I have a couple other lists I'll share with you guys as well. And the list that I am moving on to next is kind of more optional things. I thought I would include this just because, like I said, depending how much money you have to spend, some of these things you may not want to spend the extra money on, but some of them you might. So this is a list of things that I think are more optional. Again, these are my opinion. I know people who have these things and probably would say they could not live without them, but for me, I didn't feel like these were quite as big of necessities. So the first thing that I would say is a jumper. So this is kind of what ours looks like. This attaches on to your trim, and then it just hangs, and your baby goes in this seat. Obviously it's once they're a little bit older and can hold their head up and can balance a little better. It can be really fun for a baby to play in, or to kind of exercise in, or to get the feel of walking, all those kind of things, but I really don't feel like it's a necessity. Zendaya didn't end up using this that much, but what she did end up using was one of those stationary like exerciser things. Those are a little bigger, they take up more space, but you can get ones that have toys all around the outside, and that would keep her busy for hours and hours. So for me, the trade-off was worth it. Obviously it takes up more space, and we don't have a lot of storage space, but she loved it, and it was something that really kept her well occupied. Another thing that I had for Zendaya and didn't end up using as much as I thought I would is, hold on, let me show you, is a Bumbo Seat. So this is what they look like. These can be really handy if you want to sit your baby up on the counter and you want a seat that supports them, or sit them on the table when they're starting to learn to eat, anything like that. But here is my one thing that I didn't like about this seat. So Zendaya was a very chunky little munchkin, and her legs would literally get stuck in here. And so if I was the only one home and I put her in here, getting her out was like just frustrating, because her legs would get stuck. It would pick the seat up, and then you'd have to pull the seat off of her while you were holding her. It just was not like the funnest thing ever to do, so I didn't end up using it that much. We have a high chair, which I can link below, that is from IKEA. I highly recommend it. It's super inexpensive. It's plain, not really fancy or anything like that, but it works great, and it's wipeable. You can literally spray it off with a hose if you want, and I think I would go for that over something like this. And then I would just tuck like blankets or a pillow behind the baby if the baby isn't quite as well balanced. But yeah, I definitely think that the Bumbo Seat isn't as much of a necessity. I thought I would use it more than we did. We'll see, maybe I'll use it more with our next baby. Another thing that we have, and we used quite a bit, but I don't think it's a necessity, is a baby bathtub. So I actually picked this one up brand new at a consignment store, and it is really nice to have. But if you're not someone who has a lot of extra space, I would say just tap water in your normal big bathtub, and you can lay your baby in there. You can always stick in like a towel, like roll it up and curl it around the baby's head for them to lay on. You can get inserts to stick right in the tub, but you don't necessarily need a whole separate tub. So just like a side note, I do love that we have one, and we did use it, but I don't think it's quite as much of a necessity as I thought it was maybe when we got it. Another thing that I had and really liked, I used this more once Zendaya started drinking more bottles with formula, was like a little insulated bag that you could put bottles in with hot water or pre-made heated bottles. So when we were going anywhere, going to the grocery store, I was worried if she was going to be hungry. I would make up a bottle, warm it up, put it in this insulator, and it would stay warm yeah, until we were done and if we needed it. So there's a couple more things that I'm gonna include, and then I think I'm gonna stop just because I don't want this video to get too long, and I'm pretty sure it's already really long. So another thing that I forgot to mention that I would say is like a must-have is a little bin or box or something that you can organize all your diapering supplies in. This is especially handy if you live in a 2-story home and you can keep one of these downstairs and one upstairs. We obviously only have one floor, but it's still nice. This is the one that I have packed for the baby boy that we are having. Zendaya has a separate one in her room, but it just has all of his small diapers, a thing of wipes over here, lotion and diaper cream over here, and it just sits right by his pack and play, so it's ready to go whenever he needs changed. You can also sit it by your changing table, but it just helps to keep like everything super compact, and I definitely would recommend getting some sort of basket or bin that you can organize diapering supplies in. Alright, so I'm coming down to the end of our stuff and the end of the video. But something else that I would recommend along with like diapering bins are just bins to put things in, like towels and blankets, stuff like that. I have, hold on, I have these two that I got at TJ Maxx. They're matching. They just sit in the nursery and, whoops, almost spilled my coffee. They just hold like blankets and towels, that kind of thing. Along with those, I would also recommend something else. This is something you can opt for, kind of like a one or the other if you want to, but bins with lids. I have some from Amazon. They are like fabric and decorative, but they have a lid. I'm losing things. They have a lid that goes on top of them. They're really nice to store extra clothes in, or extra blankets, anything like that, because it kind of keeps it out of sight because of the lid. But you can get cute ones. You don't have to get ones that are just like storage bins. So that is something else I would recommend. I'll try to link some down below that I actually have. But yeah, bins are so handy to store baby things in, especially because you have so many little things, and sometimes they tend to get lost in like big drawers, something like that. Bins I definitely would recommend. Another thing that is an optional thing you don't have to have is like a monthly pillow or blanket to get pictures with your little one. I did not do very good at doing this with Zendaya, but hopefully I'll do better doing it with this next baby. This was a pillow that we had been given for Zendaya. So cute. You can switch out these. They have different months. But if you don't want to spend the extra money on a blanket or a pillow or something like that, you can also just use a letterboard. I actually have one for our baby boy. It has his name on it, so I'm not going to show it to you guys because that is a surprise till he's born. But you could just change out the writing for each month and set it in the picture just to kind of document their growth, and that's always something you can use later in your house or something. It's not like you won't use it anymore after your baby gets older. One of the last things that I had and loved but is an optional item is a baby scale. My mother-in-law got me this one, and I'm not sure where she got it from, but I'll try to find something similar and link it for you guys. It's so nice to be able to just like keep track of your baby's weight at home. After you give them a bath or something, you can weigh them. It's really simple, and we use this all the way up through Zendaya's probably first year at least. It was really handy to have. Another optional thing is a baby carrier, as far as one that you strap to yourself. So for Zendaya, I have this one and I liked it, but I didn't use it when she was young because it doesn't really hold an infant's head very like stationary. I used this when she was older, but yeah, like I said, I didn't use it as much when she was young. So for this baby, I actually found one of these brand new, still in the box, but it was like at a used place. And this is, I think it's called the Moby Wrap, and it's definitely probably better suited for newborns, young babies that can't hold their heads, because it like ties them in really close to you. We'll see if I use this a lot or not. I can't really say, obviously, because I haven't had it for a baby yet, But this is another something that I would recommend getting if you have some extra money to spend on baby supplies. But like I said, it's not a necessity, and you definitely can go without it as well. So that was my full list of baby must-haves, but I have a couple things that I wrote down that I feel like you don't need, and I thought I would just share them with you. Just my personal opinion, things that I did not miss, did not have with Zendaya, and won't have again with this baby. This thing is something that I had and didn't use, is a bottle sterilizer. I just found that it was like too much work to pull it out every time you were washing bottles and stick them in there. And it just took up too much space, and I found like it was just as easy to just wash them in hot soapy water. You can boil them in a pot, you can sterilize them in an instant pot, you can put them in the dishwasher. There's so many other options that I feel like just a bottle sterilizer is something that's probably not necessary, and you don't need to worry about spending extra money on it. Another thing I had for Zendaya and don't think is quite as big of a necessity is the Dreft laundry detergent for babies. The Dreft detergent smells really good, but you can opt for just like a free and clear laundry detergent that will be just as fine for like sensitive skin, and it will probably be fragrance free, so you won't have to worry about that as well, and it definitely won't have the price tag of like baby laundry detergent. So that's another tip that I have for you. And then a couple other things I wrote down is a cart cover. That is something I never had for Zendaya, and I honestly never missed it. You could just take a blanket with you into the store. I just felt like it would be such a hassle to put a cover on a cart and take it off every time you're going in a different store. So that's another thing that I don't feel like you need to have. Again, if you have one and love it, go you. Awesome. But for me, it's just something that I didn't feel like I needed. And then another couple things is I never had a mobile for Zendaya, and honestly she did fine without it. If you have a baby swing, oftentimes those have like mobiles on them, so you don't really need to worry about one for their crib or their pack and play or whatever. That's just another thing that we didn't spend money on, and I didn't feel like she really missed it. Okay guys, so that was my whole list of things that I wrote down, and it was quite a lot. Hopefully you didn't get too bored, and hopefully you enjoyed it, or maybe it gave you some ideas for like a gift or something like that. If you are looking for some things to buy for a new mom that will really help her out, that would be some of my recommendations. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I wanted to say, I think someone commented in one of my last videos wondering if I was going to do a birth vlog. As far as that goes, I will probably not, but I don't know. I'm not going to say a definite yes or no, but I'm suspecting that I probably won't do a birth vlog. I'll probably do like a meet the baby kind of video after he's home and we're settled in. What I'm doing right now is a lot of pre-filming, so you guys will probably be seeing videos from me even after I have a baby of like while I was still pregnant. So I'm suspecting once I have him, which will be probably in a couple weeks from when you're seeing the video. Right now it's about a month, but it'll probably be a couple weeks from when you're seeing the video. I'm suspecting I will put up a post on my community tab. If you have not seen that, when you go to YouTube, check out my channel or go to my channel and click on the community tab. Should be at the top somewhere, and you can see there posts that I put up. So after he arrives, I am thinking I will put up a post on the community tab to let you guys know that he is here and how we're doing. And then at some point in time, I will probably do a meet the baby kind of video or vlog. But before I get that one out, I may have some pre-filmed videos that go live for you guys. So that's probably how it's gonna work. I just thought I would give you guys that little bit of information, how I'm thinking it's gonna happen, so you know, or so you know where to look. If you're wondering anything like that, for those of you wondering, that is just, I think, how I'm planning on things going. We'll see, it could change, but that's what I'm thinking for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if I missed anything, or if there's anything that you had that I did not mention and you think are great additions, leave me a comment down below with what that is. That way maybe some of the other viewers maybe can get some more ideas if there's something that you had that worked great for you and your little one that I did not mention. Alright guys, I will see you next week in my next video. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful week till I see you guys again.